This journey of deconverting from Christianity after I was saved as an adult and did not grow up religious has been a process. And there was a time I wondered if I would be an atheist. I even have an earlier video where I'm discussing feeling like I'm a spiritual atheist, but I don't think that I'm really an atheist. I think that I'm spiritual, and it just doesn't fit into the boxes that I see as like predominant boxes to choose from. Recently, in the last month and a half, I've had 3 visions. I really wouldn't have believed in this kind of thing until it happened to me. I was definitely not drinking alcohol or I don't do drugs, but I wasn't doing any drugs or alcohol. I wasn't taking prescription drugs, or there wasn't any other kind of explanation that could be used to kind of write it off. If there would be, I would be the first to say, well, I was taking this medication, so it might have just been that. So I'm going to read my journal entry about this. At the top of my page I put, "These have been a source of proof to me to believe in the unseen or spiritual world, which I certainly do. I listened to a guided meditation last night. For the first time of that kind, it had you picturing different things in your mind. I had a vision in the middle of the night. I woke up in the middle of the night. It was dark in the room. This is the 3rd vision I've had of this kind. The other 2 happened when I was still at the marital home within the last 2 months. Last night's vision was 2 overlaid images. They were a white light. The other ones were more a rainbow light. One was distinctly a dash of a car, as if I was driving it. The words of one of my poems came to my mind instantly. Trajectory in mind, you are getting somewhere. I can't remember the other picture, and I feel I had a hard time trying to decipher it in the about 5-second long vision. The vision didn't really stop. I closed my eyes, and I almost knew if I opened them back up, it would still be there. But I was tired, and I went back to sleep. It was more of a confirmation. That was my 3rd vision. So I had done this meditation, and I don't normally do any kind of guided meditation. I don't usually listen to anything else. I just kind of sit outside and look at the sun, and I'm just in my own headspace. So this was just more of the meditation. I can link it below, but it was basically, it wasn't anything crazy. It was just telling you to close your eyes. It was, had peaceful music in the background, and it was talking about picturing different doors. Maybe they said 10 doors or 12 doors, but kind of picture you're going in, down, I think it said in the forest, but kind of outside, picturing yourself that there was different doors to open, and you could open this door, and what would happen if you went down this way? And if that wasn't a good fit, you could kind of come back through, and then you could open a different door. So it just kind of had you thinking about that kind of thing. It was not anything off the wall. I'm very leery of anything that I feel like is really woo-woo. So this vision, I feel like the message is I definitely know I'm on a journey, but I just have been feeling for months something is coming, something big. I didn't expect to be displaced out of the marital home, so that was kind of a huge transition. I'm managing okay at my mom's, but my mom is not emotionally available, and I really see her tendencies to be very much like my soon-to-be ex. She feeds off of me if I let her, and I try to keep my distance, so it's hard being there. I feel like the vision was an encouragement in some way that I'm not going to be in the same place for a long time as far as where I'm living. So I'm going to go into my other part of my journal entry. The first vision was beautifully colored light image of a butterfly with elephant looking wings. It was elephant ears, if you think of elephant ears being so big and floppy. It was when I saw it, it was in the middle of the night, my room was dark, I woke up, I know I was awake, and it was against a wall. It was beautiful. It was the most beautiful image I've ever seen. It was more beautiful than any painting, and I love artwork and painting, and it was more beautiful than some kind of 3D artwork you might see on a TV screen somewhere. It was just beautiful, and it was like a butterfly. I remember thinking, is it a butterfly or is it elephant ears? But I think it was a butterfly, but that it just had like these voluptuous wings. Okay, so I remember trying to decipher if it was a butterfly or elephant ears. I leaned towards butterfly. The message I understood was transformation. Okay, so that was my first vision, and the color of the light that this image was, because it was in the dark, so this was light. The picture was of light, and it was, all I can say, it was like rainbow. It was like all the colors. Whereas the vision that I first described, which was my third vision, that was white light. So this first one was beautiful, colorful rainbow colors. My second vision as well was rainbow colored. The second vision was also full color light image, full of numbers and math symbols rolling around constantly. So this one, unlike the butterfly vision, this was different. It was almost made me think of, I've never gone to a casino, but almost when you think of, like, I've seen on TV, you know, where someone's like, they have like things inside of something and they're like turning a handle on the side and they're making things go round and round, like maybe it's balls or something for like a game, for like a casino game, but something like that, where it's like something is going round and round, but inside it was numbers. It was numbers and math symbols. So soon after, I heard the term sacred geometry, and I wondered if there was a connection. Okay, so the message or the download I got about that didn't come instantly, but things are being figured out. That's the message I'm getting from that vision. These first two visions happened at least a month and a half ago when I was still at the marital home, in pretty close proximity to each other, maybe within a week and a half of each other. This kind of thing had never happened to me before, and was pretty instrumental in me, like, not discounting the spiritual realm. I have a lot of clear abilities. I'm pretty psychic, and it can be a little bit, I don't want to say scary, but it can be a little bit daunting. It's like, well, does everybody not? This doesn't happen to everybody. Like, I was at a restaurant / bar for karaoke last night, and I met a guy. He was a singer. He sang well, and as we shook hands, I got an instant download, very much like a warning, like more like he was a predator, and he was handsome and younger than me, and he would have gone on later. I didn't drink at all, thankfully. He would have gone on to, like, just overly touch me, like, on my back, and made me feel quite uncomfortable. And I'm pretty good about standing up for myself, but he had been drinking so heavily that I almost did kind of like feel a little bit intimidated or fearful. And I feel almost like when I got the download and he hadn't been drinking as much then when I first met him, that maybe I should have gone ahead and left. So I get downloads all the time. I get downloads about people, strangers, people that I know. I get insight. For example, my mom, who I do love, but I'm living with her right now, and I have realized just how similar she is to my soon-to-be ex. And it's funny because they can use positive or negative attention. So, like, if she does something, maybe she might, like, make a lot of noise in the middle of the night, and she might be in the kitchen doing something that I'm kind of thinking to myself, why are you in the kitchen at 3 a.m, you know? And I might feel like she's slamming cabinets, but it's because she's disturbed my sleep and I've woken up from it. And I tend to be a light sleeper. Well, if I go in there and I'm like huffy at all, you know, and I'm like, I show her that it bothered me, I have learned that, and I don't mean angry, but just, you know, just like a little bit frazzled, like a little bit like, you know, what are you doing? I have found that she feeds on that. I have seen it. I've seen almost like a spark in her eyes, and I have realized I can't react for positive or negatively. My mom is also somebody who's usually complaining about some kind of ailment, and I'll try to encourage her just to sit outside for 5 minutes a day and get some sun. She would feel better, but she almost would rather get the attention for being on this medication or that medication, and I don't know, almost resigning herself to, at 74, be, kind of on her way out. I feel like a lot of the way that we are has to do with so much with our mindset. And I'm not trying to talk badly about my mom, but my point is that I get downloads. I get like intuitive downloads about situations and people, and I have learned more and more so that they're always accurate, they're always true, and I believe that they are coming from, another realm, the spiritual realm, the realm that, I heard it put an interesting way. As a Christian, I always thought, our spirit, or the Holy Spirit, but our spirit lives inside of our body. I recently, in the last couple of months, I heard someone say somewhere on YouTube that it's the opposite. It's actually that our body resides within our spirit. And just thinking about our aura, the kind of like the vibe we pick up on other people, and the vibe or aura that we're putting off, it made so much sense if you think about our spirit maybe being maybe about an arm's length in distance around our body. Our spirit is bigger, it's non-physical, but it's bigger than our body, and our body is within our spirit. Makes a lot of sense to me, actually. I definitely believe in the spiritual realm. And so these three visions, first of all, the beauty of the first one, the butterfly, but really the beauty of all of them, because they're just like nothing I've ever seen before. And like I said, I wasn't smoking weed, or there was no, I wasn't hallucinating. I wasn't and I wasn't sleeping. I don't dream very often. I feel like I was plagued with nightmares sometimes as a child, but I really have only dreamed one dream about a certain man as a confirmation about something in the last, year at least. I really just don't dream very often, which I almost feel like maybe is a protection for me. I feel like I was perhaps attacked through dreams or nightmares as a child, like I said. I'm sharing this because maybe there are people out there like myself who, especially if you leave fundamental Christianity or some other crazy religion that just had you so suppressed, there might be a tendency to kind of pendulum swing into being an atheist, which I certainly did kind of toss that idea around. And really I've always been a truth seeker and a truth speaker, and so I think I just wanted the truth. It wasn't like I wanted to be an atheist if that wasn't right, nor would I want to be spiritual just for the sake of being spiritual. I only want the truth. But these visions have certainly just helped me to solidify any part of me that would want to dismiss all of my psychic or clair abilities. The one I feel like I have the strongest is clairsentience, which is just, a clair just means clear, and, how do you say it? No, claircognizance. It's a clear knowing. I just know. So much of my life I've just known. I just had a feeling about a person, about something. I could just I could maybe not put into words why or how, but I just maybe knew that person's not to be trusted. So, these things are real, and, it's not, when I say it's not woo-woo, what I mean is it's not crazy. I'm just a normal person. Yeah, I probably think about things a lot deeper, and I probably I really hate surface level conversation. I hate bullshit. I hate pettiness and things like that. But I certainly spent years of my life being, more, when I was a teenager and a very young adult, being more, anybody, yeah, just not really about much, but I probably go deeper. I want more out of relationships. I don't do well with just I don't know. I think a lot of people aren't awakened, like they haven't gone through a spiritual awakening, so their desire for connection is just very surface level. And I see that a lot when I'm out at karaoke and different things. I know people and you can sit there with them like half the night and like not say two words to each other, and there is a part of me that might leave. And I have hoped for connection. I've hoped to have, some kind of conversation, something, connecting about something. And I can kind of like go home with a little bit of a heavy heart, feeling like, yeah, there really wasn't any connection there. So I desire connection maybe more than most people. I feel like I'm not the only one, but this is just me telling you about my visions, and there's plenty of people who will, count me as crazy or off my rocker, but I'm not. And I feel like I'm living proof that, it's just, I feel like we all have these abilities, and being spiritual doesn't mean that you have to be like way, way out there. If that makes sense. Of course, I guess everyone thinks they're normal, but this is just me sharing. Thanks.